if I saw the other day, all I do is scream inside. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. I pretend you're the same old way, thinking I forget the same mistakes. I'll be a simple boy.
Yo, guys, it's Old Man G here, back again. I'm joined with Yannicka, Yan City, Manchester City fan. We're both wearing blue, obviously. But yeah, we're doing a United versus Manchester City match review. Obviously, the game, midday on Saturday. Before we get into it, you need to channel to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter United X. Also, shout out to Yan on Twitter as well. Make sure that you follow on Twitter as well, and subscribe to Sarcasm City, because you said you're on that as well. Yan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
That's a very interesting question. I think a lot of Manchester United fans, it's civil war time. Shout out to people watching the comments, by the way. CFCO knows a Chelsea fan. Big up Yan. United 3-0. Ronaldo hat-trick. # OLE for life. Ledo accept the treble. CFC's a Chelsea fan who can't accept that Chelsea are title favourites right now and who should have the pressure of competing for the Premier League. So just no one else is Premier League favourites. City aren't, United aren't, Chelsea are. You focus on winning that Premier League title and defending your Champions League trophy. That's what Chelsea fans need to do. So there's a civil war going on. Maybe it's not so much a civil war right now. I think a lot of United fans will be pretty. I don't think they're going to have any issues with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked, to be honest. I think the big issue really is just who comes in and replaces him. I mean, we'll start there. I assume you think that Ole should be sacked. Well, you don't, because you're City fan, you want to stay. But if he was, who's actually do you think is available right now to come in to replace him?
It's a hard one because it's like, obviously, most United fans I know, they want Zidane. But the last I heard was that obviously he didn't want to come to England, but I know that kind of changes. They say that and then next minute they're here. So I don't know about that. Obviously, it's never easy to know what's going to happen with a certain manager, because I know when Mourinho came in, everyone was like, oh, Mourinho's coming in. We're going to be challenging every year with City, and it didn't quite work like that. So we don't know, whoever you get, even if on paper they're brilliant, you don't necessarily know how it's going to go. But there's obviously, it's a difficult one because there's not that many managers available. So you'd probably have to try and take someone from another team. So obviously, even for City, people ask me, who do you want when Pep goes? I don't know. A lot of people are saying Luis Enrique. He's obviously with Spain, but it would make sense because I think Pep would maybe go to Spain, so they could kind of job swap. That might work. People say Ten Hag because of what he's doing with Ajax, but the position he's in at the moment, I don't see him leaving because he's doing really well with Ajax. So it's almost like it would be a sideways step right now to move to the Premier League for what he's doing right now. So I think it's going to be difficult to know who's available, really, because Conte looked like a obvious choice, and then now he's gone Spurs. So I don't really know. And what you don't want to do, obviously, is get someone in who is worse. In terms of coaching.
I was hearing some Gareth Southgate stuff, and I was like, bro, no, I'll stick with Ollie. I legit. I will. Like, if I hear Southgate rumored to United, I will
Yeah.
spearhead hashtag Ollie in. You know, I will spearhead that campaign because you can't go from. And I hope other United fans agree. Like, you can't go from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to Gareth Southgate. That's
Southgate's
just
actually worse than Ollie, if that's possible. He's actually worse.
And it's difficult because he did get England to a semi and a final, but it's just no. Please not Southgate. So, but yeah, let's going back onto the game. I guess we want to start off with like just how you feel the season's gone so far, because obviously if United do win this game, they're going to be level on points with City. So, do you feel so far into the season that it's just how City are? They'll get into the groove and they'll challenge, or do you think that this has kind of been a bit underwhelming?
I mean, I did predict before the season started that we'd have a bit of a decline this season. It's not even because we're not good anymore or anything like that. I think it's just because we had such a good season last season, you know, in terms of, yes, we only won 2 trophies. I know it always sounds mad when I say we only won 2, but, you know, we were close to all 4. So, yeah, it's a little bit, we were never going to go and do that again. But, you know, it's with City, I can't really rule City out of anything because the amount of times I've said, oh, we won't win the league, and we've gone and done it. So I think it's always harder to retain than it is to win. I do think this season, with the form that Chelsea and Liverpool are in, I don't think we can afford to have a start this bad and continue to kind of make mistakes. So unless we go on a major run now with just wins, I think we'll probably struggle a little bit. But yeah, I think if we can be in a title race, finish second. I don't really want to be finishing third or below, but if we can finish like second, obviously be in a title race regardless of whether we win it or not, and do quite well in the Champions League, that might be, you know, maybe win the FA Cup, because we've not won the FA Cup in a little while, a few years. So yeah, if we can win that.
Was that surprising, Jan? I mean, I know the Carabao Cup is City's cup, so to kind of be knocked out by West Ham, was that painful for City fans, or how did that feel? Sort of just getting knocked out. I mean, you know,
I think City fans love the Carabao Cup. I love the Carabao Cup just simply because of when you win it. I think if it was in May, I wouldn't have an interest in it. But because it's sort of won early, it gives you good momentum going into the rest of the season. So, yeah, I'm a bit gutted we're out. I didn't think we'd win 5 in a row. I think that's a bit excessive. If we did, you know, they should just cancel it, because you can't be winning it 5 years in a row. It's a bit ridiculous. So, yeah, I think somebody else is going to win it now. I hope that it's not Chelsea or Liverpool personally, but yeah, I think it probably will be Chelsea, I would think.
I like David Moyes to win it, because it would prove a lot of haters wrong. So I don't think he will, but I mean, he did knock out United and City. You don't know. So, like I think if he won it, I think a lot of people who sort of said he was a Finnish coach probably have to give him a bit of credit, because he's done a good job at West Ham. And I brought the table up here next to us just because obviously. And I seem to have a lot of Chelsea fans watching this stream for some reason, because CFC said Ollie over Pep. Jan, time to accept the truth. And Mo looks like he's also a Chelsea fan, says United are winning the league. # facts. Just weird because, and obviously shout out to the Worldwide Red Show. Please go and subscribe up to his channel. He believes that United will win. Yeah, I just think it's just weird because I just feel that Chelsea fans, they know that, you know, they could easily win a treble this season, especially with the £100 million striker they sold Lukaku, and obviously holding the Champions League. But they don't want to say it. You know what I mean, Jan? They don't want to have that pressure.
They're putting the pressure on everyone else.
Yeah, but so I don't put the pressure on.
If you're the best team in Europe, you should win the league. You should, because if you're the best team in Europe, you should be the best team in England as well. So they should win it. I think they will, to be honest. I actually think they will. Just because I think Liverpool, as good as they are, If they get injury, if they stay fully fit, obviously they've got a good chance of winning it. But if Liverpool get an injury to Salah or another injury to sort of Trent or Van Dijk or something like that, I think they will struggle. Whereas Chelsea, even if they get injuries, they've got other players that can come in and do the same job. So I think overall Chelsea will be a bit stronger than Liverpool, but we never know. I think it's too early. It's too early. Yeah. This season, this time last season, City were like sixth or something. Everyone was saying City ain't going to win it, and we went and won it. So it is too early. I think probably Christmas, January time, you'll be able to see. There should be a gap between sort of the top three.
I think especially when the African Cup of Nations starts, I think you're going to see a lot of Liverpool. I think Liverpool obviously going to be affected by a lot because they're going to lose Salah, Mane, Matip, and I'm missing one more, Keita, although he's always injured. So around the four. You guys will obviously lose Mahrez, which is neither here nor there, and Chelsea. Sorry?
Chelsea will lose Mendy.
Yeah. So I don't think United will. I think United. United will lose Baye, which I mean, he wouldn't play anyway. But I mean, he would still. It's like, oh god, to have to rely on Harry Maguire is suicide. But I bring up this table here just to show that it looks. I mean, right now, I think that if City do lose this game to United, and even if United win, assuming Chelsea beat Burnley, which is possible, because they always kind of get a result, 8 points, 8 points, Chelsea, 8 points clear. Do you think that's a lot, or do you think that's still mountable?
I think I have said this season, I don't think we can afford to lose too many games. We've obviously lost 2 already. I don't think we can afford to lose. I think usually when you win the league, you can lose about 4 to 6. But I think this season, the way that it's going, I don't see Chelsea losing that many. I don't see Liverpool losing too many either. So I do think it's going to be a case of if we start dropping points like that now, I do think it's going to be too much to kind of get back. So we do need to win. It's a must win against United. I can see. I don't think City will win personally, just because Man United play the football that we struggle against, counter-attacking, and we'll just try and walk it in. And if it doesn't go in, which there's been games this season where it's not going in. So against Southampton, Crystal Palace, been quite a few, West Ham. There's been quite a few games this season where we didn't look like scoring all day. And if that happens again, I think Man United will counter-attack us, get a goal. We like to always concede a goal, even last night when, it was I don't know if you saw it, but it was a John Stones goal with a Bernardo Silva assist. And that was their goal. So that says it all. It is one of them where I think we like conceding. So I can't see it being a 0-0. I know a lot of people say, it could be a 0-0. I don't see that. I think if we don't win it, we will lose it. It's 100%. So hopefully, I think the only way City can win, and it sounds stupid because we are better than United, but I think the only way we win this game is if we score early and get maybe 2 goals before halftime. Then I think we'll win it. If not, if we go 1-0 down, I don't know how we might get back into the game, but I still think we'll lose.
2 goals. I think you'll probably get, if you're like Liverpool, you probably get 4 goals at this rate. Because I don't think that I mean, at least I think anyway that because you talk about counter-attack and you're right, but the thing is, Ollie, we don't really tend to counter-attack as much with Ronaldo in the squad. I see anyway. He can score goals, but a lot of it is going to be, and to be honest, I don't know what formation. In fact, it actually moves me on to the next segment, actually, starting formation, because I'll get into that in a bit. I'm just going to quickly just bring up this formation, Jen. I'll start with you, Anne. So I assume, I mean, well, first of all, what formation do you think that Pep will play actually?
Oh, we always go 4-3-3.
So you don't think he's going to change? You don't think he's going to change it and like play like Fernandinho and Rodri like a 2?
I hope not. I hope not. I think we'll go 4-3-3.
4-3-3. Okay. So I'm just quickly seeing the comments. We all need a West Ham result this weekend. Well, that is true. West Ham are playing Liverpool. I think that's going to end in the draw, to be honest. I think, especially if it's away, West Ham are Liverpool's bogey team at times, especially with my Jamaican man, with Mikel Antonio being fit and scoring goals. He always scores them against Liverpool. Rasmus, shout out to EFC as well. And Rasmus, I'm tired of that clown leading our team. I'm not going to watch United again until he leaves. I mean, that's fair, to be honest. I mean, what I will say before I go into all this is that, like, it makes more sense to me logically if you're just not liking our United play and it's awful, it makes more sense to me to not watch it and just still support the team but not watch it than like spend hours watching it and then ranting about what you knew was going to happen after the game. Am I making sense, Jan?
Yeah.
Like, it's like if it's causing you pain, like, and you know that like it's not going to change, it doesn't make like I see on Twitter just like, oh, I didn't celebrate the Ronaldo. This is what it's like. So why did you watch the game then? Just spend 2 hours watching, working out, or watching another team or enjoying football. You know, like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, because football for me and predominantly is like entertainment. You know, so if I don't like something, then I'm not gonna like waste my time when I could do other things. So that's just my personal opinion. And EFC says that United will get lubricated. Right. Okay. Let's get back into the formation. So obviously in goal is going to be Edison, presumably.
Yeah.
Now the centre-back pairing.
It will be Stones and Diaz because Laporte got a red card. So.
He did indeed. So wasn't that the same centre-back pairing that's when we beat you guys the last season?
I
think it was actually, wasn't it? It was Diaz and Stones.
Probably. They played most of last season.
So left back will be Cancelo, presumably.
Yeah.
Or will he? Okay. So you think he'll play Walker on the right then?
Yeah, and then Walker. Yeah.
Okay. Holding. Rodri.
Rodri, definitely.
And then the midfield.
Ooh, see, I think that he will put De Bruyne in, but I think it should be Bernardo and Gundogan. But I think he will go De Bruyne and Bernardo.
Okay.
But it should be Gundogan over De Bruyne.
I agree. How do you think De Bruyne has actually has done so far this season?
You know what it is? He was injured, obviously, when he was on international. They injected him with some stupid thing so he could play. So he was playing injured, and then he came back, and then he wasn't fully fit. And I think we kind of rushed him back a bit. He's still got a facial injury. And the thing is, it's a lot of people are kind of saying, "Oh yeah, well, you know, deal with it." But it's like, you know, when you have toothache and you feel like you can't do anything because you've got toothache, he has like a face ache. I can't imagine how bad it is for him to be able to kind of do what he does. Without being able to move his face properly. So I think a lot of people are kind of underestimating the impact of that injury. They're kind of just talking about, well, you know, he's fine. But I think that must be part of the reason, because his passing is just not the same. Like, we know what De Bruyne can do, and his passing is horrendous. Obviously, now and then he can still produce because he's so good a player. But yeah, he's not the same. It's not the same De Bruyne, because, you know, he's playing the other day, and I said to my dad, I was like, yeah, my dad's like, oh, what was that pass? And I'm just like, it's not the same. It's not quite the same De Bruyne that you used to see. And so, yeah, I think it's one of them where I think I would personally just let him go and get back to his best, do what he needs to do. If he needs to have surgery, whatever he needs to do to get back to his best, I would personally tell him to go away and do that. Because Bernardo Silva does really step up when De Bruyne isn't around. So I think, I don't know. I think hopefully that's what we'll do, but I don't see it. I think we'll just keep playing him and hope that he just improves. But I'm not sure if that's the right idea or not. But yeah, hopefully he can play well. I think he needs to find his form, whether that means that we keep playing him until he finds it or he needs to go away. Whatever it is, it needs to be done because, yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one, and this is the thing with players that have injuries, recurrent injuries. I mean, it's always I mean, even with United now and with Varane and stuff, it's always a kind of like, do you risk playing a player that's just come back from injury? I think personally, I think he was rushed back, but then to be honest, we had no choice. Well, I wouldn't say we had no choice. We had Eric Bailly, who was there, so who was been fit. So the likes of Varane and even maybe Maguire, rush back from injury, get them to play. Like I remember Rashford doing a post like this, and I sort of got it in a sense of players sacrificing with the injuries that they're in the pain. So it makes sense, and you don't have you're playing in the pain. But I guess the problem is also but that's also a degree of selfishness as well, because there are other players that that are fit, that would really want to play, that we could see that you're, you know what I mean? You're potentially depriving of chance. Like you said, if you're unfit and you can't do it, then be honest and be like, okay, I can't. Let Gundogan come in and do the thing for the team, so you don't end up losing, So, right, where are we now? Okay, yes. So on the left winger.
I hope he doesn't, but I think he'll play Grealish again. I think he will.
Grealish on the left.
Yeah, I think he'll put Grealish on the left. I think he'll go with Mahrez on the right.
Mahrez. Well, that's interesting. I think Mahrez. Well, if Mahrez is going up against Shaw, he's Luke Shaw last season would have pocketed Mahrez. Luke Shaw this season, I think, might be put into a spliff. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I think Wan-Bissaka could probably manage Grealish-ish, just about. So,
he will.
So I'm assuming that this is going to be almost like do you think it's going to be Jesus here, or do you think he's going to be more?
I think it might be Phil Foden.
Yeah. I have a feeling
it might be Foden. You know what it is? I hope it's Foden because it's a Manchester derby, so you should play Foden. But I don't know, because I was doing this before with Flawless, and I was saying who I wanted, and I was saying I don't know, because Grealish at the moment, he's doing well in terms of creating chances, but he's very predictable. And I think with Sterling, even though Sterling's form is not the best, he's kind of, even though it's predictable, he still causes defenses problems because of how good his movement is. Whereas I think with Grealish, it's kind of going to be him doing the same run. It's going to be quite easy for Wan-Bissaka to handle him, I think. Whereas with Sterling, even though Wan-Bissaka plays well against Sterling, he's still a lot to handle. It's not like Wan-Bissaka's just chilling. He actually has to work hard to contain him. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen because Sterling on the left is nowhere near as good as Sterling on the right. So if he isn't going to play on the right, there's no point in him playing. So I think he's not going to start over Mahrez. So we might see Sterling second half. On the left, you could put Gabby out on the left, which I would personally go with in this sort of game. Because I think Gabby causes a lot more issues than Grealish will. Okay. But Pep will go with Grealish. So we'll have to see.
Fair enough. So I mean, to be honest, even with this team, I still think this team is pretty much good enough to beat this Manchester United side. That's That's washed. So I'll say what I think of the Manchester United starting. Well, it's going to be. I've got no idea because we're still we don't know about Lindelof's fitness. We know that Varane's out. So I don't know about like people thinking back 3, back 5, back 2. I've got no idea how he's going to do this. I literally don't know what to start. I'm like, is he going to play back 3 at Old Trafford against and try that? Is he going to revert back to a back 4, like and do what he traditionally does? I don't know. I'm going to put with the safe bet that he's going to do what he traditionally does and revert back to a back 4. So I'll just let's switch this to red, and obviously if you have any man, just pure red, guy, just pure red. There we go, whatever. Okay, so let's change some of these players. So obviously it'll be De Gea in goal. Even though I think Shaw's been garbage and Tele deserves a chance, he'll play Shaw. Wan-Bissaka will obviously be right back. Is he going to play back 3? In fact, you know what? I'm going to go with just what predictable. I think that he'll rush Lindelof back. He loves Lindelof. Even though I think Bayer should play, he'll go with his favourites. I'm going typical. He'll go back to Maguire and Lindelof. He'll go back to a 4-2-3-1. Where's the style? Formation. Yeah, sorry. 4-2-3-1. Yeah, so it'll be Freddie McTominay, won't it? Bruno, where Marwas would play. And then Ronaldo up top. I think it's a Manchester derby, so Pogba will be dropped.
He'll put Rashford.
He'll put Rashford on the left.
And I don't know. Because normally he plays Martial against City, but because you got Ronaldo.
Yes. I think on the right he's probably going to play Greenwood.
Yeah.
But it looks like Sancho's kind of felt on the peg. I mean, to be honest, because a lot of people, do go on. Kobe says Wagwanji and hashtag VLL Hive. To be honest, like I am upset that Sancho isn't getting any more game time. But at the same time, like it's a different situation. I don't know what you think about this, Jan. I'll ask you before we get into a combined 11. The difference to me between Sancho situation, Van der Beek situation is that you can't drop a player that's in form. Yeah. So Greenwood, who's been playing on the right, has got like 4 goals and like 1 assist this season. So it's like, give Sancho a chance. It's like, well, it doesn't make sense to drop a player. Yeah. Like, it's not great because you spent the money on him, but logically you can't. Whereas Van der Beek, McTominay, Fred, the times have been useless. So you should expect that he would get a chance. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, like with the whole Sancho thing and how it's been dealt with.
No, I agree. I think Sancho, when he has played, he's not been that impressive. I don't think that he's always going to be like that. I think some people just take a bit longer than others to settle in. Some players hit the ground running, others don't. That's just the way it is. But yeah, like you say, Greenwood has been so good, you can't really drop him. I don't think it's fair on him. Whereas, like you say, in the midfield, there's been times where it's like, okay, it's not working, and he just keeps Fred. I'll never forget that game where I think it was last year. I can't remember who you were playing against. Was it in the Champions League? I can't remember. And Fred was on a yellow card, and you could tell he was going to get sent off.
Oh yeah, that was PSG, I think, at Old Trafford, man.
Yeah. And he left him on, and it was just obvious he was going to get sent off. That was the time when he should have said, Fred's going to get sent off. Let's just bring on Van der Beek and give him a chance, and he didn't do that. And then he ended up with 10 men anyway. So you might as well have just played him, at that point. So, yeah, I think things like that, it's not great for him. If I was him, I would probably leave, because it's just like, if you're not going to get played in games like that, you've not really got a chance.
My only is that if he does go to a back five, he'll probably end up dropping Rashford already. Yeah. He'll probably, obviously, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka will be the wing backs. It will still be, this midfield is going to be the same anyway, because Pogba is suspended. And then if I change that, so it will be, who am I missing? So it's not just the back four. So yeah, it'll be, so Greenwood's position will basically probably be Bay. So Bay will probably be right-sided centre-back, Lindelof left-sided centre-back, and Maguire here. And that's the kind of the only other lineup that he might decide to do. Which, to be honest, I would. The difficult about this lineup is that it's not set up for counter-attacking, and so I think you'd still win just based on the possession that you would have. But obviously, this is somewhat defensive, and obviously there's always a threat of Cavani around. It's probably a bit more balanced, but it is what it is. Jade and Wancho. Lucas says Man City will win. I agree. I agree with that. I agree. So because like I said, Yana said that United will win, which means that City will win. It's when she says that City will win, that's when we'll win. So that's you gotta. I've done a few previews with her, and I've noted down the responses, and it always seems to be that. What is it?
Every time I predict City to win, we don't win. That's why I'm always negative. People are like, you say negative. I'm like, look. Every time I say like City are definitely, because you know what, like going into Manchester derbies, like I'm never, even if I say like City are going to win, it's simply because we're the better team. It's not because I'm being over cocky and all that crap. But it's like, there's been so many times where it's just like, okay, I'm not sure what will happen. And the one time, I think it's last season before we played you at home, and I was like, City are better than United, like
exactly
in this easily. And to be honest, I think the game for City, because we gave away a penalty at the beginning of the game,
that
the whole game plan went out the window. So everything that I think we would have done was completely changed, because obviously against most teams, to be honest, when we play, most teams will kind of park the bus a little bit, like try and defend, keep City out, and then try and kind of counter us or something like that. And because you had the goal, you didn't need to do any of that. So we kind of go at you, and you were just able to kind of just break away and beat us. So whatever game plan we had went out the window the minute we gave away that penalty. So from then I knew we wouldn't win. But obviously, before the game, you would expect to win. So it's the same again. City are better than United. If we turn up and play at our best, we should win. But I just think it's one of them. Ollie loves saving his job. Pep is Ollie in. Pep's at the front of the Ollie inners with his flag next to Cristiano Ronaldo. And they love Ollie. So I can see Pep doing.
I mean, the only thing I'll say to that is that obviously, if you do lose, then you're 8 points behind Chelsea. So it kind of should be a must-win game for Pep, because especially because I think I looked at Chelsea. I've only conceded, it must be 3 goals, and that was 1 to you, 1 to Liverpool in the penalty, and I can't remember where the third one came from. Brentford. I think Brentford scored a goal.
Oh, did they?
They could have. Brentford have played Chelsea, haven't they? Yes, they have. Yes,
but I think it was 1-0. So I think they should have scored, but they didn't. I don't think it was them. Was it Newcastle? Did they beat Newcastle 3-1 or was it 3-0? I think that was 3-0.
I thought it was 3-0 as well. So I'm going to check that. Or maybe I've got. They've if goals against, I will just see who's the. Let's go back. No, it's not Brentford. It was Southampton.
10 to Southampton.
Yes, because they got the penalty as well from. So they've only conceded one goal from open play, and that was against you guys when just did his thing. So which I laughed at, by the way, because Chelsea played a lot of. That game. I can't remember the last time a team played that defensively in the Premier League, where they were literally just in their box for 90 minutes and just did absolutely nothing. It was so bad that it was it was something. Just a few comments here. Ole over Pep says, "MN, I know you're a Barca fan, MN. Xavi's on his way. Don't worry about it." JJ Bridge says, "Ollie, there's a lot of Chelsea fans in my. I don't know where this is coming from, man. So big up Magpie Studio. Penn to Southampton. Burnley will win. Chelsea though, entirely doubt that, bro.
Never gonna.
I don't. Right, let's do a combined 11 then. I think this is going to be interesting because I'm probably going to be conceding a lot of ground here, given how United have been this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just all City, to be honest. Keeper, Edison, De Gea.
I mean, De Gea has been good for United this season.
He has.
Edison's been quite solid for City. I don't know. I think what I would say is, I do think Edison is the better overall keeper, but I think in terms of like, I don't know, because I think De Gea has saved United a lot more than Edison, but that's partly because we don't need saving as much in that way. But yeah, I don't really mind.
Give us De Gea at least, because we're probably not going to get something.
He has been good for United.
We are not going to. Okay. Oh, so I should lay the rules here that this is based on like on availability. So not like, so if they're injured, you obviously can't come into this team. Availability and current form. So not past form, but current form and availability.
Okay.
So I'll just put that out there. Anything else? Yeah, that's it. Centre backs. I mean, my only nominee for this is Bay, and I know he's only played one game, but I don't care. He's just that good.
It's actually interesting because Diaz obviously gets in because he's been quite good. The interesting thing is most of the games this season have been Laporte and Diaz, and Laporte is suspended, so it can't be Laporte. Stones obviously has done all right, but he's played more in the other competitions. He's not played in the Prem too much. I think he's only played. Has he played a game? I think he might have played like one. He's not. I think he did keep a clean sheet. I think it might have been. I can't remember which game it was, to be honest. I know he came on when Laporte got sent off against Palace. But yeah, so he conceded one in that. But yeah, you can maybe just have Diaz and Baye, because I would have had Laporte, because Laporte was actually good up until recently, but you can't be.
I would have agreed with. I would. That's my only case. Yeah. So like the vid, guys, as well, guys. I'm sure you like the vid. But yeah, for exactly the reason why, like, Laporte is suspended. Like same thing with, I wouldn't even put Pogba, but Pogba's obviously suspended. It's not going to be in consideration. And Baye has literally only he did play against West Ham, I think, in the game, and he was good in that. But that performance alone against Atalanta, where, like, for me, it just if he wasn't playing, United would have lost that game 5-0. That's basically the situation. So I'll put Baye alongside Diaz. You can have both of the fullbacks, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this season, Gonzalo's been so good. Walker's form isn't the best, but he's still been all right. So
yeah, I would still put your two fullbacks above ours. There's just the midfield. I think is probably going to be even the same.
I'd say Rodri holding, and then I would have Bernardo. And has Bruno been good this season? I don't know. I haven't watched United like that.
It's. I just think our midfield has just been garbage overall, to be honest. I just think it's going to be.
Do you know what?
Starting midfield.
You know what? I would put Foden in the midfield because we're going to obviously probably have Ronaldo up front. So I'd put Foden in the midfield.
Okay, so you put like something like do something like this.
Yeah, Rodri, Bernardo, and Foden.
Okay.
Now, McTominay has not been better than Rodri at any point of this season.
Really Can someone say that in the comments, man?
Yeah, Rodri and Bernardo have been our best players.
CFC time, man. This is Chelsea fan as well. Just all like for the Chelsea fans that are watching this stream. I know there are a lot of you. I want you to answer one simple question. When was the last time Lukaku scored for Chelsea? That's a simple question. I just want you to know, when was the last time that Lukaku scored for Chelsea? I await your response. Just for the Chelsea fans, by the way. Sorry, I just got some comments actually. Get your questions in, guys. There'll be time just at the end of the combine just for a few questions. So I note a few questions here. Let's just quickly finish this combine. So who do we say that we're going to be put here? Foden, sorry, wasn't it?
Yeah, Foden. Yeah.
Foden. Okay. Right. Left winger, right winger.
You know what? It's hard because Gabby did really well on the left. I think he was on the left at the start of the season. I'd probably put. It's hard because Grealish has been creating a lot of chances, but I don't think he's been that impressive. So I would say maybe Gabby on the left, Greenwood on the right.
Gabby on the left, only one on the right. Is there anyone else that can't really put Rashford in? Because I mean, to be fair to Rashford, he did score came back against Leicester. We lost. Sorry, but he did get a goal there. He got a goal. He must be 3 goals in last appearances because he got a goal against Leicester.
Yeah,
I think he got a goal against. Yeah, he got a goal against Atalanta the first time as well, like on equalizers. And did he get another goal? Yeah, and he got a goal against Spurs. So he's actually got 3 goals in four appearances since coming back. So he's not been garbage.
No,
but there are better players.
I think like more so at the start of the season. Gabby was really good.
Yeah.
He's our top assister, I think. He's got 5 assists or something. I think he's our top.
I can't.
Well, but yeah, I think recently, because he's not really played as much, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going to disagree
with Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's no way that Ronaldo doesn't get into this put Greenwood here because it just Ronaldo is. I keep on tweeting that if City had signed Ronaldo, if Chelsea and Ronaldo, then it's treble Champions League. I legit think if Ronaldo had gone to City, City would have probably won the Champions League. Because the amount of supply that you would supply to him and the amount the goal scoring phenomenon that he is, it would just be insane.
Yeah.
So just counting, I think how many we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 United players, which makes sense. And then the other 7 are City players, which makes a lot of sense to me. Because we've been bad. We literally have just been bad. Right. Thanks for that, Jan. So before we round up, let's just quickly get some questions, guys. If any questions to me and Jan, we're approaching the hour mark. Then please get them in. So I see just a few. I'm just going to go back. I don't really want to. I'm not going to give my opinion on this. Jan, do you want to just give your quick opinion on this?
I mean, the only people that say Pogba over De Bruyne are people that talk about what Pogba can do. Okay. Whereas when it's De Bruyne, it's what he is doing. And that's all I would say. But I do like Pogba. It just, because of this Pogba De Bruyne thing, I end up sounding like I've got a Pogba agenda, and I don't.
Yeah.
I actually wanted Pogba at City when he was up for sale. Obviously, now I wouldn't take him because he's like getting old and stuff. But yeah, back then I would have taken him. So I don't dislike him. I just think, I don't know, like people say he's not inconsistent, but he kind of is, because, you know, he got 7 assists in his first couple of games. You would expect him to be on like at least 10 by now, and he's still on 7. So I don't know. I think for me, I think he should, if he wants to be seen as this player that everyone says he is, which he is for France, then he should leave, because at United it's just not it. And if he plans to stay there, then no one can really fault me for putting De Bruyne above him. So it's on him. We'll see how ambitious he is as a player.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to either PSG on a free or Madrid or something like that. So he'll go somewhere. So, but the only thing I would say about it, in agreement to that, is that I think there is a bit of a misconception that sometimes there's almost a dichotomy where like, oh, he's crap for United, but for France, he's amazing as a different player. I'm not entirely sure that's completely accurate, especially this year, watching him in the Euros. I think that some of Pogba's faults, especially defensively, losing the ball and stuff like that, it's like, I get, you know, where he's played in the French team as also double pivot with Kante. It's still not ideal to lose the ball in that position. You know, so and quite a few. I think when he got lost to Switzerland, I think he lost the ball twice. Those goals, so he does still have those defensive. He's great skill, could score really awesome goals, but I can see why he can be a defensive liability, and there's a reason why France don't have many clean sheets in international competitions after allowing Benzema to bail them out. So, how come Ollie has a decent record against City, Jan?
It's actually, I think I saw somewhere, I think it's 4-4. They both won 4, and then there's a bunch of draws in there. What I would say is one of Ollie's wins was in the cup when City were already through. But I don't think it's actually as bad as people make out. People make out like Ollie beats Pep every single time. It's not really the case. I think whenever Pep has needed to win 100%, he's won. Obviously, in the league, you could argue we needed to win, but we still won the league. So I don't think it really mattered too much. And the other time when we weren't anywhere close to winning the league. So it's not like that point, you know, when Liverpool won it. It's not like them 3 points would have won us the league. We were already miles off Liverpool. So you could
make a case that this is probably for both teams a semi-important game. Because if obviously United lose, they're way off the top, and you know, even top 4 becomes a struggle. And if City lose, then you know, this sort of we'll be on the same points. So you know, 8 points from Chelsea. So this is probably an important game for both managers.
That's why it could be a draw. It could be like last year when no one wanted to lose and it was 0-0. There's no one wanted to win, no one wanted to lose. It was the worst derby ever. I think I'd rather go for it and get beat than have that again, because that was awful.
It was like watching paint dry, to be honest. It was that bad.
And then they were hugging at the end. It's like, no, like 2-footed tackle him at the end. I don't want to see no hug.
That's why I preferred the one when, I can't remember, I think that was the one when the 3-2 one at the Etihad. I loved that because there was fighting. Jesus was involved. He was like, Fernandinho was like in. I was like, yes, come on.
That's what you want to see,
I want to see, like, come on, guys. Like, let's just fight or something, you know. So get that tackle in. So, you know, so the passion, that's the most important thing. So combined 11, DD. So CFC's combined says David De Gea, Shaw, Maguire. Okay, so that's just basically the Manchester United lineup you have. So I get the trolling there, CFC. So he says City likes to keep the ball. Ollie Pox busting hands against City, thus fitting the style. I just don't know whether we're going to counter-attack against City with Ronaldo. That's the thing. Shout out to Hala Madrid, man. Thank you, doing well. JJ Bridge says Maguire, Laporte, Diaz, Stones all have been shaky this season. Has Diaz been? How has Diaz been? Has he been shaky?
No, he's been fine. Like City in general, A lot of people were getting onto Edison. It's like he doesn't have much to do, and then sometimes he won't make the save that he needs to make. He's not been bad. That Crystal Palace goal, I think the second one was poor. It was poor from City. But yeah, in general, they're not been too bad. It's not been too bad. I think Stones hasn't really played. Stones has only come in. He scored no goal the other day, but he was actually all right. He had a good game apart from that. Even Aki seems to be at the sort of, he just seems to be in the starting 11 when things seem to go badly. But even he hasn't been that bad. It's just one or two mistakes in a whole 90 minutes. And, unfortunately for City, if you notice, whenever City get beat, if you look at the shots on target that the other team have, it's always like 2 out of 3 that they score. It's not like a team come to City and have 7 shots on target and get one. It doesn't happen. Like if they turn up and they have shots on target, they go in. So it's a little bit unlucky for our defenders because one mistake. A lot of teams, they make mistake after mistake after mistake, and they get away with it. Like we saw Chelsea against Brentford. Like Mendy in the last sort of 10, 20 minutes was just saving everything. Like if that's City, they concede, 2 or 3, and we're looking at the defender, not the goalkeeper. So it's just one of them.
I agree. I do think
bad. Up until we'd conceded only 3 goals until recently as well. Our defense was on par with Chelsea. It's only in the last couple of games where I think we conceded. I don't even know now. Probably been quite a few.
2 against Vieira, and then I can't remember how many you conceded before.
2 against Liverpool.
2 against Liverpool. I think 1 against Southampton, wasn't it?
No, it's 0-0. Southampton.
Was it? I thought there was. I thought it was 1-1 for some reason. Okay, maybe I missed it.
Let's go. Wait, let me have a look. Can't remember.
No, it's okay. Hala Madrid says, this is going to be a 4-0 spanking. I assume he means regarding City. Sorry, there's a lot of comments that I want to.
We've conceded 6, and obviously 2 of them were against Crystal Palace. So up until then, we had 4.
Bruno's created more chances in the Premier League and the Champions League. Fred Flintstone tax. Man United aren't relevant in 2021. Fair enough. Nicholas Campbell says we always put a performance against City, which is good, but bad because we're slowly falling to category of only turning up in a derby. City was that a decade ago, and we clown them, and that is true. Liverpool, McFred, please. There's a lot of people trolling in this chat right now. A lot of people. She says that's code to go. I'll see if I can find any questions. Emma says I was told Harry Beckenbauer. When was the last time you won a trophy? Okay, 5 years ago. That's the answer. If you want that answer, that's the answer as a United fan.
You know what's crazy about trophies though? Is like this is why it's crazy because I know like last season when City won the Carabao Cup, people like it's only a Carabao Cup, but it's like really like with trophies, no matter how good you are, you never know when your last trophy is. Like you're not actually guaranteed to win the next trophy. Like when you win something, it's great, but it's just not guaranteed. Like nobody thought, in 1990 that Liverpool were going to go 30 years without a league title. No one thought that was going to happen. And the same with like even United 5 years ago, they weren't thinking, okay, this is the last trophy. They're thinking, let's go on and win the Prem. So yeah, it's a bit mad.
I want to quickly just address this comment because there's a lot of this Ronaldo Messi thing, so to speak, and there's Messi's 10,000 times better than Ronaldo. Let me just address something right now. Messi in Barcelona, Argentina, has the whole team geared towards him. He's now on a team that isn't geared towards him in Ligue 1. Please let me know how many goals and assists he has in Ligue 1. That's not because I hate Messi or Messi's garbage, etc. but Ronaldo is in a far inferior team and still has more goals in the CL and the Premier League than him and assist contributions. So it is what it is. He's playing in a superior league with an inferior team. It is what it is. So let's just allow that. And don't carrot me with, oh, what did Ronaldo do for Juventus? What did Ronaldo do for Juventus last season? Look at where Juventus are now without Cristiano Ronaldo, and then come back at me. They're now 16 points from first, and they don't have a goal scorer. So yeah, let's leave that. Let's leave that.
Who is top of the Italian?
Yeah, it's shared between Napoli and Inter, if I recall.
Oh.
So Napoli and Inter, this is the problem sometimes when people just think that getting managers like Allegri and big names and just assuming that they're going to works. They still have to have a good squad. And Juve, I think, is struggling right now. I think these are people just chatting. I know, just checking if there's any other questions. Get your questions.
That is true about Messi in the Champions League. I'd say both Ronaldo actually and Messi, they're carrying their teams in the Champions League a little bit. Because the only reason why they beat us is because of Messi. PSG were not better than City.
Yeah,
there's no way they should have won that game. But
I don't think. And so, if we'll be honest, I agree. And a draw seems likely. A very tight game.
It'll be 2-1 either way. I'm telling you, it'll be 2-1 or maybe 2-0 either way. If we have a bit of a mare going forward.
I just think defensively, you guys are just a lot more organized. Than we guys are. Just United are just all over the place, man. But we just are. I think here's a question. Finally, sorry, coming to the IMAX. We are going to round up soon. I know you. It's late here, and it's late where you are as well. Yeah, so wrap up. I think we talked about this. At the start, just a quick. Do you see anyone? If you could just pick a name of anybody realistically, is there anybody, Jan?
I think you should have Mark Hughes because we had to have him, so you should experience Mark Hughes. Legend. That's who you should get.
Mark Hughes.
The only name that I'm against is I've heard people say Bobby Mank, Roberto Mancini. You're not having Roberto Mancini. You are not tarnishing his Man City legacy.
Wow.
And if you do have him, I hope he sabotages your club.
He's a United legend. I still remember when he didn't he manage Wigan to get you guys knocked out. I remember that was him. That was beautiful. It was like Wigan because they got relegated the following season as well. But then somehow still managed to. We're playing in the Europa League. It was brilliant. So no, he's a United legend as far as I'm concerned for that moment alone. Where I think was that the FA? Was the FA Cup? I think it was the FA Cup as well. Actually, so that was a good time.
Anyway, people in the comments, no one cares about whether we're big or small. All we care about is what we win at the end of the season.
That is very.
You can be the biggest club in the world, but if you ain't winning anything, no one cares.
I don't know if that's a sly dig towards Manchester United, Jan. Was that a sly dig towards United?
You know what it is, though? It's so funny because you always get people saying stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, Barcelona are one of the biggest clubs in the world. But right now, would you rather be in Barcelona's position or Atletico Madrid's? And right now, you'd probably say Atletico Madrid. So, well, maybe not in the Champions League, but, in terms of the league, you'd rather be them. So, yeah, I think, I don't know.
Oh, someone said City are a small club, or that's it. I see you reacting towards.
Yeah.
It's just EFC's guy saying with Zidane. I mean, that's always a possibility. I mean, at the end of the day, football is about winning trophies, but also I think it's a balance. Like you win trophies because you have a structure to do so, and an organization to do so. And Barcelona, for example, right now, just ran badly. City and Bayern and PSG, for example. Well, I won't say PSG. I'll say City and Bayern Munich are teams that are run well, and you can see why they'll build that stuff. So Right. If there aren't any more questions, 'cause I think you're chatting, Jan, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Thanks. You can find me on @itchyancity on Twitter, or mainly on Sarcasm City on YouTube and the Twitch. So subscribe.
Cool. Thank you so much. And thank you for coming on, Jan. Really, really do appreciate it. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for the comments and getting involved. Remember, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Obviously, follow me on We United X on Twitter. We'll try and do a few more live streams towards the end of the year. Thanks again, Jan, for coming on. Have a nice day, everyone, and cheers.